Hello, that's us, your moody and trigger happy hosts, this week looking at Badlands. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Hi, Andy. The usual is the crack. So happy first real episode of our rebranded new podcast.
Indeed, the
The
relaunch.
relaunch. So for those of you who have been following along, we just decided, yeah, we don't want to change our topic every week, and no one wants to hear
No.
us talk about how much we hate sales and or more mental health episodes. So we decided we just wanted to talk about movies because that
Mhm.
brings us joy every week.
It does,
So
it's true.
yeah, so happy first real movie test of time.
Indeed, indeed, and welcome everyone. Um,
Mhm.
so what's been going on with you then recently, Beth?
Um, so do you guys have you don't have the Olive Garden there
No.
in Northern
But I
Ireland?
am aware that I've been to an Olive Garden before.
Okay, so it's kind of like a rite of passage
Hmm.
for most Americans to go to the Olive Garden and taste the
Yeah, I
breadsticks.
was gonna say the unlimited breadsticks is the main thing I know about Olive Garden.
Yeah. So we took the kids clothes shopping because it's time. They keep growing. No one put that in the manual. Anyways, Um, so we went to the Olive Garden for the first time. They tasted the breadsticks, and I could not help myself. I don't eat gluten because like it hurts my body,
Sure.
but I was like, fuck it, man. Look at those warm, golden, bunny looking things. And so I ate an Olive Garden breadstick, and I've been sick ever since.
Do you regret your decision or
I
you have?
do.
Oh
I
wow,
like
okay.
it's like there are very few times where I'm like, wow, if I could go back in a time machine, like I would change X, Y, or Z.
Sure.
I would go to this moment and be like, smack that out of my hand. I would show
That's
myself my future self, freak myself out, and probably make the world implode, when that happens. It's
that seems
like
like
crossing, yeah,
a valuable use of a time machine.
exactly. So
Exactly what they were designed for, you
I
know.
know, I know. Uh Yeah, it's hot here in
Yeah,
California. The turkeys
friggin'
are out. They
brag.
keep
Oh, the wild turkeys
walking.
again?
The wild turkeys back in the yard. They
Oh
always look
yeah.
very surprised to see me, and their
Hmm.
heads are very small and their bodies are very big. They look very delicious.
I
But
think they must be like a predators, like the predators must be going ham on those things. Yeah,
yeah, it's just shocking because they fly. So like one got
fascinating.
in the yard and the kids were like, "How'd that happen?" And I'm like, "It flew." And then it was like, "I guess I'll wander out of your yard." And it like flew up to the top of the fence. And I'm like, "God, that's a huge bird."
Yeah.
And then yeah, hopped into the neighbor's yard. Anyways, um, I guess like the big news is that I'm coming to the UK
Yeah, it's true.
in like a month, less
Yep,
than a
yep.
month.
It is less than one actually.
And
That's true.
and you're gonna come and meet Mike and I, and we're all
Hmm.
gonna go to Stonehenge and probably run around naked and be pagans. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, you'll never see or hear from us again.
Right? And he's like, no, I'm bringing my utilikilt.
Yeah, that's true. Well, nothing underneath it, of course, like any proud Irish
Right?
slash Scotsman.
Right.
Um,
What's crack with you?
so a few different things. Well, I mean, I've only seen clips of it because I found it pretty excruciating. But SNL UK launched this
Oh,
week.
yes. Yes. Was it good?
I
The
only
clips
saw
you've
clips.
seen?
I haven't watched it. Like the clips I've seen were fine, but like I find I I struggle a bit more with UK comedy, especially comedy like that.
Mm.
I like the kind of weirder, sort of more kind of like dark UK comedy, but like that sort of stuff doesn't sort of work for me. But like, what I did see was I was expecting the worst, truly, and I saw the like promo clip or the like ad and was like, oh, this is fucking terrible. But based on what I saw, it was a lot better than I could have imagined, and apparently it was like people were like expecting a disaster, and it certainly was not that. So I think who knows potential, but I mean, like, I certainly would love. I think as a place to kind of launch a lot of the comedians that are part of it like have careers and like do shows at Fringe and things like that. But like in terms of like launching people, I think it's a really kind of it could be really exciting and valuable, you know.
I think it's amazing. And like we were down in San Diego last night and we have have you heard of the Comedy Store?
Yep.
So there's one in LA, there's one in San Diego. I don't know if they've got franchise. It's not a franchise. It's like the Comedy Store. It's like every big comedian that we know has done some show at the
Yep.
Comedy Store and then they write their name on the wall and it's a whole thing. But like I guess like yeah, do you guys have anything like that where it's sort of like, there we have the Groundlings, we have Second City,
Yeah.
like there's a pipeline for comedians here.
It's a that is a good question. I mean, like I think probably what happens for a lot of people there. I mean, I'm sure there are comedy clubs in London. I can't really think of them, and I'd say probably in bigger British cities there isn't anything here because we're just not big enough for that. Like
Yeah.
we do have places that have comedy nights and things like that, but there's no dedicated sort of like comedy club at all. Um, but like I think for a lot of people, Edinburgh Fringe is kind of the kind of like gold standard in terms of people like go up there, kind of like put a show on, and that can be really good in terms of like, may not launch in your career, but like further in your career and also letting you try out some like weird and sort of different stuff, you know.
Didn't the guy that did Baby Reindeer, was that, I think he
I think
was
it
that
might
the
have been,
Fringe?
yeah, I
Okay.
think it was.
So
Yeah,
it's like you
yeah.
go, it's like you're not in residence, but like you show up and then they've just got like spots available in like restaurants and
Basically like every possible place in Edinburgh that could be a venue becomes a
yeah,
venue for that
that's
month, you
so
know. It
cool. That's
is.
so cool.
I love it. It's like I've been a couple of times and I love the atmosphere there and like it's just it feels like a festival wide city or a city-wide festival I should say. I know that like I've had friends that live in Edinburgh and like locals fucking hate it because it's like it takes over their city for a month and I get that, but like as a tourist I really love it. Like the few times that I've been there I've really enjoyed it. Um but yeah, I also, since last we spoke, I went to see Project Hail Mary, which I really enjoyed.
Okay. It's like it's hard now to know what's good and what's worth like I wish I just need to maybe start going to see movies by myself during the day.
Mm,
Uh when I have time because I'm not on track. I want to be on track with you a little bit more and I'm like I like if I'm not going to see it for another 3 months.
sure, like,
So
but
it's like I
yeah,
got to know like what's worth it, but like the part of why I can't figure out if it's worth it or not is because of these promotional like events. It's like a month of promotion. The
yeah.
promotions, it's like I can't figure out if it's a good movie or if it's just like really good promotion.
I think that like, I was maybe not skeptical, but I was not sure about this. I was kind of interested to see because, like, I enjoy The Martian, and obviously the guy that wrote
I love The
the book
Martian.
also wrote this book as well that this
I did
movie's
not know
based
that.
on.
Who's the guy?
And Lord and Miller are directing it, and they've directed quite a few films that I really
Okay.
enjoyed. But like, I think that it's kind of one of these movies where you're kind of not quite sure how they pulled it off. Like, I feel like early on, I feel like if this had went slightly one direction or another, it would be really seen as like really kind of mawkish, manipulative sort of shit. But like, I think that they play it really well. Like at first, I thought Ryan Gosling was being a wee bit too cute. It was all like quips and sort of like silliness, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really on board with this. But as it kind of like develops more it really engaged me and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I think it's a nice time at the movies. It really is. I really had a lot of fun with it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely. It's long, but yeah, I think you would enjoy it for sure.
Okay. Okay, cool. And
Um,
like I just I saw one of the promos for it where Ryan Gosling was standing like on the other side of the freeway by Randy's Donuts in LA. Did you see this?
no,
And he like has a football and he shows it to the screen, a la Big Bunny or Bad Bunny at
yeah,
the Super Bowl, but it
yeah.
says Project Hail Mary, and then he just takes it and hucks the football. and it goes sailing right through the donut hole of Randy's Donuts. And he's just like, yeah. And I was like, of course, Ryan Gosling. Like, of course you can just throw a perfect Hail Mary
That
right
sucks.
through
Like it
the
was
hole of Randy's Donuts.
one of the things I came home and I checked and I was like, how old is Ryan Gosling? And I'm like, he's 45. He's a couple of years younger than me, and he's fucking beautiful. Like he looks like he's like, 30 or something,
Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
like,
it's, I will say he's probably had a little help
that's
there,
true,
here and there, here
probably.
and there.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, definitely like
Agreed. Agreed.
a fun time at the movies. I must say, I really enjoyed it. Like it's definitely a crowd pleaser,
Okay.
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Um, I also did another pub quiz. So
What was the
it,
topic?
no, it was anything and everything. It was
You're
like a
like
lot of
dentistry again.
no, it was a lot of Ireland centric stuff. Like so, it was like
Ooh.
stuff around my county and things like that. But I always kind of go into pub quizzes thinking I'm going to actually, trump it because like I tend to be quite good at general knowledge and stuff. But like these recent ones I've been doing, there's been a lot of stuff that I just have had no idea about. So I'm losing my edge. But like,
Do you have like a team or do you play solo?
no, we have a team, but like I just kind of go. It's an activity, right? So that's
Right.
me fucking sold. Like I'm like, yeah, like if it's like, do you want to go to the bar? I'm like, yeah. But if it's an activity, it's like, okay,
Yep.
cool. Let's
Which
do it.
do you guys have a team name?
So that was what I wanted to chat to you about. I think that all too often I am the one who's tasked with doing it because we're like, oh, you're creative, Andy, you do it. And I'm like, cool, no
I say
pressure
that to you
then.
all the time.
Fucking
You're
I'm like,
welcome.
cool, because then you get judged in your name, and I don't. But anyway, so the one I devised, which I really like, and I think I might use in the future, was the winners, which really kind of made me happy in terms of somebody reading out the score, and then them going like, reading all these high scores, and then I'm going, the winners have 65 points or whatever, while everybody else is in the 80s. I think that's quite funny to me. But then the team next to us stole that idea and called themselves the ultimate winners, and I was like, you guys suck, right?
What?
Criminal.
What? You could
Absolutely
sue for
criminal.
that.
Very much so. But yeah. So yeah, that is all that's been really up with me over the past wee while. So Beth,
It's not like gluten poisoning.
no, exactly. Yeah, that was like what's your
That's
update?
that
I
was my big news.
I've been poisoned. Cool. I hate to hear it. Um,
It's my own fault.
so Beth, what's occurring for us this week?
I do. So this is kind of like I have a clarification station too. But
Okay.
okay, so from episode I don't remember,
Hmm.
uh from which movie Andy doesn't remember either. So, our top fan said, I'm not gonna lie, this is directed at me. I'm a little gassy, you just uttered aloud, who the fuck is Roger Corman? So here you go, everybody. Corman never made it stratospheric big, but he was the ultimate filmmaker mentor of his day, showed aspiring filmmakers like Scorsese and Cameron how to get shit done quickly and competently with little or no budget. He's superficially remembered as only a B-movie guy with his name on trashy posters, but there was a lot more to him than that. His influence and openness to working with people trying to learn meant he operated like an unofficial filmmaking school. Famously, James Cameron actually had something nice to say about someone
Whoa.
who learned under Corman. Sorry, whoo bird. Couldn't understand. I add things, so I'm quoting, but I'm also
Sure.
sorry, putting in my own thoughts. Learned under Corman, who couldn't understand the comparatively very lackadaisical approach of the British crew making aliens for
Hmm.
him in Shepperton with all of their tea breaks.
Hmm.
So then I'm like whisked there in my imagination, and I'm very happy with that, like that picture in my head.
Apparently, like there is still animosity held, like till to this day, from crew members in this country towards James Cameron and vice versa to them.
Because
Like,
of tea?
yeah, because of like how they operated, and he just wanted to operate non-stop. Like
Like,
he
yeah.
he is an insane person by the sounds of things. My understanding is he has mellowed somewhat in his old age, but like you know, he gets results. So what can you say?
Yeah. And like I like started reading this and then I asked myself again, like, oh right, who the fuck is Roger Corman? So now I know. Thank you, Top Fan.
Nice, 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 nice.
Also, how was I going to bring that back to Ryan Gosling? What did you just say?
Oh, who knows? That was
It doesn't
seconds
matter.
ago.
That was seconds ago. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so do you have any down at the streets?
I do not know.
Okay. No pressure, Andy. Wink, wink.
Oh,
Okay, so we did Pulp Fiction a few episodes ago, and I did make an error there. And I said that Tarantino had only sold one screenplay. This person said that Tarantino sold screenplays twice: True Romance to Tony Scott and Natural Born Killers to Oliver
oh,
Stone.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my error. This person said, again, as a teen fanboy, I traced all of the Tarantino universe characters crossed over and alluded to. Scagnetti brothers in Natural Born Killers and Reservoir Dogs, Alabama from True Romance mentioned in Dogs, Vega brothers, etc. One more quick correction. This was for Miller's Crossing. Uh, Dashiell Hammett died in 1961. Miller's Crossing was heavily inspired by his writing,
Okay,
particularly the novel The Glass Key, featuring a similar character to Tom Reagan. But the Coens were not writing with him nor adapting his work directly. So
interesting.
thank you for pointing out, yeah, when when Andy and I make errors, which
I
happens multiple times per
100%. I
episode.
mean,
So I'm surprised we don't get more of this.
it's part of our charm,
I
really. I
know.
mean, if you would be upset if we got everything right, I would say.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Um,
I'm already annoyed with that idea, so not gonna happen.
One of the things I'm quite upset about in terms of Miller's Crossing is I didn't talk about the hi hat, which I really wanted to. Like, give me the hi hat and how that's deployed a couple of times throughout the movie. I fucking love.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
But these things happen. Um, okay. Shall
Do
we
you want to
move
get
on
into it?
to this week's movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
As we've mentioned, it is Badlands. So this is the first in our Terrence Malick season. We're going to be turning Terrence Malick movies all month. Um, and we're starting with his very first movie.
No
Have you?
one names their kids Terrence anymore.
It's true.
Do
I
you
feel like
know a Terrence?
I mean I do know some Terrys, but like they are my age, so like I mean that's hardly that's hardly parents naming their children, Terry these days. I It's like, well, no, it's not maybe quite as bad as Colin. It feels like, Colin is like a name that's been in disrepute in the UK for years now, but Terry doesn't feel quite as bad. It just feels like it does feel like an old man name.
I like old men names
Yeah.
for kids. It like kills me.
And they seem to come back around. It seems like it hits a point and then they just come back around. It's
Yeah.
popular again because nobody
Yeah.
has. I might have told you about this before, but it really cracked me up. Um, in Belfast, you would sometimes hear people with like in broad Belfast accents being like, Beyonce, Beyonce, come over here. Or we heard like things like whenever Game of Thrones was popular, Khaleesi, Khaleesi, and I'm like, oh no. Why would you name your fucking child Khaleesi? Ay, ay, ay.
Uh,
But anyway,
yeah. When
so
Terrence is available.
yeah. Yeah, well, exactly. This is exactly right. Yeah, name your child, name your female child Terrence rather than Khaleesi, please. So Beth, had you seen this movie before?
I have.
Okay.
I have. So I haven't seen all of Malick's films. We will watch a few that I haven't seen,
Hmm.
but I didn't. It's kind of like, I don't know if you have this happen sometimes when you start watching something and you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this way more than I remember I've seen it. And I had that. Are you yawning?
Yeah.
Andy just yawned at me, you guys.
I know.
Um,
I yawned at the world in general. Please don't take it personally.
it's okay, it's fine. I'm right there with you. I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot.
Uh, it's one of these things I feel like I do, upon watching it, I feel like I've seen,
Bits and pieces.
bits and pieces of it for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and it's interesting because and we'll see how this pans out as we go through his other films. But like, I think what upon my watch of this I liked is that I kind of like small moments movies. The moments which is just them kind of like spending time together or just like small incidental conversations that are like nothing really to do with anything else. I really kind of
Yeah.
like those moments and like
Yeah.
this was kind of filled with those, which I was really, which definitely aided in my enjoyment of it, I suppose,
Yeah, I wrote some similar stuff down. So I'm gonna just give a quick synopsis for those who we assume that you guys have seen all these things, or you're, watching and watching ahead of time because we give you a week. And
Yeah,
then yeah. So but just real quick for those of you who did not do your homework, which we also accept. 100% everybody. It's the
hmm
late 1950s. Mid-20 something Kit is a restless and unfocused young man with a James Dean vibe and swagger. They bring that up a lot, how much he looks like James Dean.
yeah,
Uh, which is um so Holly is his girlfriend. She and her father they're all in Fort Dupree, South Dakota. They fall in love. She can't tell her father because he's like 25 and she's 15. And he comes from the wrong side of the tracks, everyone. When
he
he
does.
tries to take Holly away with him, Kit on impulse shoots her father dead. Holly decides voluntarily, and this word matters quite a bit actually, to go with Kit. They're trying to make it look like they committed suicide in a house fire. Kit continues his murderous ways in order to protect the life he wants to eke out with Holly. Through it all, they openly and privately muse about their philosophies on their life, considering their current circumstances. This is based on a true story, y'all.
Yeah. What was the name of the I can't remember the name of the
So,
Charles Starkweather, the kid
Charles
that's
Starkweather. Yeah, I looked up in my Mind Palace a photo of him on Wiki, and the photo of him, you're just like, damn, this guy is like he looks like he's just gonna run around and shoot everybody.
is he a hunk?
I mean, kind of. Like not so much his like okay, because
He's
for those of you who don't know, I love true crime and I love Terrence Malick. So like compare like putting these together, like his wanted like his arrest photo isn't like when when he's got the little like plate. He doesn't look hunky there, but his Wikipedia photo, you're kind of like, okay, yeah,
yeah, no,
he's got a little
that's
James
just
Dean
looking.
to
I'm
him.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, I can see it.
he's
He's
like a
like
great yeah.
he's no Martin Sheen, but like who is?
No, right.
Uh,
Damn. Okay.
damn, yeah.
Damn. So yeah, the film opens and he's like a garbage man
Like
and he's
he,
on his route.
yeah, he immediately sucks. Like you're immediately
I know.
like.
I started watching it and I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, Andy.
No, like no. I mean, like I don't mind characters who suck like and her assholes, but like straight away you're like this guy's he's kind of an asshole. He's like immediately trying to like sell people stuff he's finding in the garbage, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this guy, yeah, he sucks.
Like when he's like, I'll give you $1 to eat this dead collie. Like the guy, I was like, sorry, Andy. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Um, because I know you love dogs as much as me.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
But then I was like, yeah, I was like, because at least in the United States, uh, garbage is public property as soon as it hits the street.
hmm
So you're allowed to go through people's trash.
Interesting.
Um, so I was like, okay, like if I was like wandering around South Dakota and like people's alleyways, he's like going through people's trash. He's like, she's not paying her bills. She's gonna, watch out. She's gonna get in trouble. Hey, you want to buy these shoes? And I was
Yeah,
like, I would probably totally go through people's trash.
I love the response to that when he's like, "Do you want to buy these pair of shoes?" And he goes, "What size are they?" And he goes, "Your size." And I'm like, you're the worst, dude." That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talk a little bit. So guess right. Okay, so I've got a big major surprise for everybody who's listening at home. In our first movie in our Terrence Malick season, the director of this movie, right? Sit down for this.
What?
It's Terrence Malick.
What?
What? Can you
What?
believe it?
No.
Can you believe it? So,
Shocking.
because we're going to be talking about him all month, what I'm going to do is just try to talk about him contemporaneously with this film, where he was at the time, what was happening, how this film kind of came about. Um, he's like a film director with a kind of very long career, but not a lot of movies in it, you know. This was his first major feature. Um, he had so basically how he kind of got this. He'd made and directed a student film, but which kind of got him noticed. He then ended up making some contacts, um, including Jack Nicholson, um, which he which allowed him to get his foot into the door with Hollywood. So he like wrote a few uncredited scripts, including one for Dirty Harry, believe it or not, which I was like really shocked at first, and then I thought a little bit more about this film, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
actually, I see it a little bit, you know.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, so that basically was what allowed him to kind of get this made. He essentially in putting this together didn't go down the typical sort of finance system. He reached out to like dentists and doctors and things like that to find the funding for it, put it together himself, and it became very popular. Was such a hit, or like in terms of like initial screenings, that he was paid I think 3 times the amount by Warner Brothers whenever he went to sell a film.
Yeah, I think it was like this. I was, doing some digging, and like this way that he went to finance the film was like no one had done it that way before. No one had like crowdsourced a film. And he was able to, yeah, produce, direct, and write his first, like that's like Orson Welles shit right there,
Yeah,
right? So it was impressive. And it's like, yeah, people still t are telling the story about how this happened.
yeah, it's
So
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, pretty, and it, like, fair play to him, like, because
yeah.
I, the other, and it was later than this, obviously. Like, I remember reading about Sam Raimi making Evil Dead, and that's very much how he got a lot of his funding. Like, I think there's like a dentist or something like that that he was close with, and they got most of their money from this guy, and the guy ended up doing great out of it, you know.
Are you friends with any dentists?
I don't think so. I am
Okay.
I am friends with somebody who is in school for dentistry currently.
Okay. Well, that,
Close,
get 10 years under their belt, and then
right?
when you have your big idea,
Oh, it's true.
then which I figured out what our big idea is.
Okay, but we
We're
can't
gonna be
say it
like,
here.
oh, okay. Well, I'll whisper it. We're gonna be we're gonna be like
Shh.
AI removers, and we're gonna create some like app that just literally just like removes everything from anything you see. It's just like it'll know and be like, you don't get to see that.
Okay, okay, I like it.
Okay.
My friend told me about like an app that like downgrades your phone. Basically, it makes your phone black and
Yeah.
white.
Oh, stupid phone?
Maybe it is. Yeah, makes your phone dumb.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, makes your
Yeah.
smartphone dumb. And I'm like, this is something I need. Anyway,
Yeah. Love
sorry.
it. Okay.
I digress.
So, you're good. So, okay. So yes, the person that wrote the screenplay, which I already gave everybody that news, is also Terrence Malick.
What?
So, yes, and I was like, okay, well, ha he goes to film school and comes out and then makes this. Like, what is up with this guy? Give me more. So Terrence was born, I'm gonna call him Terry. Can I call him Terry?
Sure.
Terrence? Okay. So Terry was born in Ottawa, Illinois. His family moved to Oklahoma and he went to school in Austin, Texas. He did his undergrad at Harvard, as you do if you're Terrence Malick. He graduated summa cum laude with a degree in philosophy, which you do if you're Terrence Malick.
Okay.
In 1965, he was a member of Phi Beta Kappa PBK, which is like the honor society for undergraduate. He was a Rhodes Scholar, and ended up at Oxford with that. And then he didn't finish his final thesis on Heidegger because he had a disagreement with his advisor. So this is a guy that like doesn't give a fuck, I think. And it's just
Okay.
like, no, this is the way it's going to be, or this is my vision, and I will not like change my vision to suit you, including like not getting my PhD because I don't agree with what you're saying. So then he was like, all right, I'm going to go teach philosophy at MIT back in the United States. And he published a translation of Heidegger's Vom Wesen des Grundes.
Okay.
Wow, did I mess that up? Sorry, everyone. Meaning the essence of reasons. Um, and then after that, he was like, I'm going to go to film school. So he went to the American Film Institute Conservatory in 1969. He got his fine arts degree. He made his thesis, which was that 17-minute comedy that you talked about
Yeah.
called Lanton Mills in
Hmm.
1969. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to write this story about Charles Starkweather and his girlfriend Carol Ann Fugate and their murder spree." So I've got some quotes from him. He said, "At the end of my second year in Los Angeles, I began working on Badlands. My influences were books like The Hardy Boys, with Family Robinson, Tom Sawyer, and Huck Finn, all involving an innocent in a drama over his or her head. I wanted the picture to be set up like a fairy tale outside of time, like Treasure Island. I wanted to make a film about an adolescent girl. We're more open as teenagers. We ask ourselves questions that we later avoid. This is particularly true for young women in the United States who are less inhibited than young men in terms of actually coming up with that idea. I can't talk about it because I'm legally bound to keep it a secret."
Hmm.
So I have a new life's mission, and it's to figure out what that fucking secret is.
Okay. Like it. That's
So
a
I can't tell you. We can
even
talk
if you
about
find
fight.
out,
Yeah, I can't.
sure that's fair.
I swore to, I told Terrence, and he was like, "Shh,
Shh,
you've
can't
sworn you can't."
you signed this piece of paper and it's binding.
Hmm.
Um,
He's like, "I'll ask you to fund one of my movies," and I'll be like, "I'm not a dentist." Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, so I don't actually know how or why, but I'm wondering because so Charles Starkweather was he died by lethal injection like
Okay.
16 months after he was arrested. And but Carol Ann is still alive. She's in her 80s. And I'm wondering if it had to do with because she maintains her innocence and she says that she wasn't a willing voluntary participant.
Yeah.
And it bothers her when people think otherwise. And so I'm wondering if like he talked to her about the story and she was probably like,
But
"I'll tell you,"
you're
but
sworn to
then
secrecy.
yeah,
That
which
makes
like
sense.
I just love mystery around this. And so yeah,
It's
it's
like
legally bound to
the
keep a secret.
what do you call it? What do you call it? The bet you think this song is about you song.
Oh, yeah, it's Joni Mitchell. No, it's Carrie. Everyone's screaming at us right
No,
now.
Cardi Simon, Cardi Simon.
Carly
You're so
Simon.
vain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like remember that it was like sold at auction.
Did she
She's
write the
like
name in an envelope?
basically um and basically it was sold in an auction kind of thing, but yeah, nobody knows for sure. So
Okay.
yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually before we move on, what does
Yeah.
someday cum laude mean? Is it just like with distinction or okay.
Honors.
With honors, okay. Because I'd always wondered because it's not something we have. Okay. All right, time to move on. So music. So it's
Yes.
an interesting one because um yes, there was a arranger and a composer, a guy called George Tipton. But the film also contains a theme by James Taylor
James
and
Taylor.
yeah, and classical pieces like Gassenhauer by Carl Orff, which is the song that the film I think starts and ends with that you will
Mhm.
immediately recognize. It's one of those things. It's
Yes.
like Zack
If you
Snyder and Hallelujah, which is he fucking puts in every goddamn movie he has. This also I hear in so many movies. Like and
Is that the Leonard Cohen Hallelujah
I
version?
know he does like all sorts of yes he has in nearly every one of his movies in my memory there is a different sort of cover of Hallelujah and I'm like I get it you like this song but maybe like pick another song anyway
He's like, "It's my thing. It's my
this
thing."
isn't time for me to grind my Zack Snyder axe so
We'll,
um
I'll go there with you. No,
right
not today,
um
but some other month.
some other time when we do our Zack Snyder month
Oh my God, I don't know if I could do that.
So anyway, but
Sorry.
George Tipton, who did there is some fun stuff about him. He did score some movies. He mostly worked in TV and scored shows like The Love Boat and Golden Girls. but here's what's really cool. This is my favorite bit about his history is that he was the main arranger for Harry Nilsson for many years and on Leonard Nimoy's albums.
Really?
Right?
Have
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
listened to any Leonard Nimoy albums?
Not, I've definitely heard some of the songs. I don't think I've ever listened to an album through, but I've definitely heard some of the songs over in my life, and I've been like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
Um,
Did you ever get into William Shatner?
I, no, but I have heard some
Oh,
of his stuff. Like again, same as Leonard Nimoy, because as a Star Trek fan, you're curious. You kind of check those things out, because he did stuff with like this is Shatner. He did stuff with like Ben Folds and stuff like that not so long ago.
mhm.
It's I remember hearing a Shatner song recently, and I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, but I was like surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I was like spoken word. I don't know about this, but hey, he was doing his own thing, and God bless him.
Like way before Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
I tried to like listen to Matthew McConaughey's audiobook and it's like I can't do it because it's like it sounds like William Shatner's music.
Wait.
It's like
You mean?
green lights
Oh
and
yes. Oh yes. Yes.
it's
Yes.
just I
Yes.
cannot listen to him narrate his own book. I just can't.
Fair.
Someone else needs to go in there. Anyways, okay, so did you like the music?
Yeah. I mean, like I've got to say that as much as like Gassenhauer is overdone, I think the kind of music was well done. I think it like I think it was minor in terms of like it really kind of just let the film breathe, and I kind of really respect that. Yeah, I think it's the sort
Hmm.
of it feels like this sort of movie that kind of respects silences and also wants you to kind
Uh-huh.
of like, take in all the sort of beautiful landscape shots and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think it did a really good job of supporting that.
Yeah. It was interesting. Like, there are certain parts where I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed with what I'm seeing on the screen and what I'm hearing in my ears. Like, when he lights the house on fire and the music is playing, and you just see fire destroying, the house that she grew up in, and her dead father's inside. And I was just like, holy shit, like, this is a great, like, you know. Now that I'm doing
Yep.
film editing, I'm starting to like understand how you lay all that stuff together, and it's really well done. I also thought it was interesting. I wrote this in all caps. I was like, there was zero music for the chase scene at the very end when he's
It's true.
driving away, and I was like, this is silence. Like he just let you know what you were seeing on screen. Sorry, I got a bug. There's a bug. There's a bug.
No,
Um, we have a bearded dragon now, so I now
that's
have
it.
bugs as pets. Anyways, so that was just, you know, it was well done. And yeah,
Was.
silence and use of music. Also, if you've seen True Romance, you've basically heard the soundtrack to this movie. So,
It's a good point. Actually, a
yep,
very good point. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah. Definitely
Um,
very strongly connected.
yeah, which it's like I don't think that uh sorry, who directed that movie?
Wait, what movie?
True Romance, Tony
Tony
Scott.
Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Tony Scott, it didn't bother him that he was, you know, like so many movies have lifted from this movie.
Hmm.
Um, you know, just the foie le deux, concept. This was kind of not the one of the first. I can't remember if Bonnie and Clyde came out before this or after.
Mm.
Um, but I I just like this movie was made a long time ago, but um I thought it aged really well, and it's really hard for a movie that's like done in such a different way
Yes.
to age well because the dialogue, like normally you can kind of guess where a dialogue is going to go.
Yes.
This movie, I had no idea.
I think that is one of the reasons why it has aged well, because it's
Mhm.
not typical of like any sort of like specific time. Like, very, very different film, but obviously we watched Quiet Man recently, and it's,
And then we walked in the kitchen and did dishes.
yeah, it's like 20 years older than this, but it feels it is, I would say, although a successful film, it was a good example of what movies were like at the time. And I think, those sorts of really sort of like, I'd say, mainline sort of movies will feel a little bit out of touch when you watch them now, but because this feels distinct, I'd say probably there are more movies made like that now, but it feels very distinct for its time, so it still feels quite fresh.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Um, I also liked that he made this movie from her perspective, from the perspective like a 14, 15-year-old girl.
Yeah,
And so, it's her that's got the voiceover. Um, it's her that is sort of shaping, how how you see both of them uh as he's like doing weird things, like burying, like their belongings and being like, we'll come back for these or maybe not. But just like he wanted to, there's a theme throughout this movie where like the this, the Martin Sheen character is like wants to be remembered in some way.
yeah. No,
Yep.
I think as well, like him, doing the narration into the dictaphone, like in terms of how
Yes.
it's so I do really like that,
Tell people what a dictaphone is.
so a dictaphone is, I guess, I sort of like tape recorder essentially.
Yep.
It's interesting
But
because I was reading about one of
it,
these recently. I think they use like wires and stuff like that, the old ones. But I thought what was really great about this was him like basically telling people how to live. This guy who has murdered already like five or six people is like, treat your parents with respect, go to school, you might learn something useful there, be open-minded and things like that. And it's like it's such he is a very interesting character, he really is.
yeah. Uh I don't know. And like, um, so I really loved Martin Sheen in this role, and I
Yes.
really love Sissy Spacek in
Yeah.
this role. I love the chickens in this movie, the cows in this movie.
Yeah.
I think, there were like maybe 10 people that were in the movie total. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't, for all the things that they did and all the places they ran, the Badlands, there's nobody around there. It's just flat, flat, flat space. Um, but the two of them, how you see them falling in love, and then like you're like, and then the story, and then he shoots her father, and then you're like, oh, this story's going in a different direction,
Yeah.
right? And then they're like living in the woods, like Swiss Family Robinson,
Yeah.
and I could have watched them do that for like ever.
No, I hear you. I mean, it was thoroughly enjoyable, like that that aspect of things, like because it just didn't. I thought it was going to be a much more typical like Bonnie and Clyde, them on the run committing crimes, but it's really not. And like
Yeah,
you
that
know,
happens like at the very tail end of the movie.
yeah, like it's also I think what I think is quite nice about it is that it's not sensationalist. Really, it's quite mundane in terms of how they behave and like you know, yeah, obviously there he kills people, but like it doesn't feel like super exploitative in a way that in the way that it could. Um,
And I read a little bit about how people were just like, this movie is crazy because like these two people are doing these terrible things, yet they seem completely unaffected by it.
yeah,
And now that's like, that's the norm of films now.
it's true.
But the I will say like, when he's talking about wanting to have a movie where, there's this fairy tale dreamlike, you know, overlay to the whole thing, he did it.
Yeah,
He did it.
very much so.
And it's hard to do when you're like talking about like people running around like murdering other people and you know
Yeah, but they do feel like I think all their kind of like anachronistic sort of behavior really kind of makes them feel like, especially him, makes them feel real. I think in terms of like her portrayal, like it's like a 15-year-old girl, that sort of like innocence and naivety kind of like I think kind of like maybe not explains, but like, you understand her behavior through that lens, but like he's like so idiosyncratic and but like that makes him believable, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, part of me was like that some of this sounds so spontaneous that there's no way that this is a script. But then I looked at the script and I'm like, oh no, this is Terrence Malick and
Love
this is
it.
how he wrote them. And I'm just so there's a scene where they like find this like rich looking house and they're like, hey, we need to hang here. We're on the run. And the staff is there and they're like, okay. Um, and a man knocks on the door and he's like, oh, I need to talk to the owner. And he's like, oh, he's got the flu. And he's like, oh, I just talked to him last night and he was fine. And Martin Sheen's like, no, he's got the flu now. That's Terrence Malick.
Yes, I thought it was.
Yes. Yeah. And I've never seen his picture before, as embarrassing as that is. And I was like, so I didn't recognize him. And then, yeah, when I was going through like, the different facts, I was like, oh my gosh. And he didn't even credit himself.
I was wondering because I was like I had seen a picture of him and I was like, oh, that looks like Terrence Malick, and I'm like, it makes sense that he would probably, if he needed somebody for that role, I'm here. Why not do it?
He didn't want to do it, but
Oh,
that
interesting.
guy had called out, and so they were
Okay,
like, "Well, let's just let Martin Sheen practice." And then Martin Sheen was like, "Sure, no problem." And then he refused to re-record the scene because he was like, "No, you're like, I'm not doing it again. It's perfect." And
yeah,
Terry was like, "Okay, buddy,
fair enough.
let's hug." Okay.
Yeah,
Um, I got some facts.
yeah, hit me.
So, um, okay, so back to the true crime element of this with Starkweather. So Starkweather's crime spree has endured. Andy has yawned like 5 times.
I had a brutal
I
night's
see
sleep
you.
last
I
night.
know.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's like 11 a.m. my time, and it's nighttime where Andy is right now.
yeah.
So he's going to bed soon.
No, no, I'm going to work more after
That's true. He's
this.
going to work and then yeah, then he's going to bed. Okay, so Starkweather's crime spree is endured in popular culture, most notably um, as the inspiration for this movie for Badlands, also for Bruce Springsteen's song Nebraska, and was also mentioned in the Billy Joel song We Didn't Start the Fire. So if anyone can rapid sing through that and figure out which lyrics those are, that would be great.
Interesting.
Um, Charlie Sheen. So there's a scene where she looks at her bedroom window at the very beginning and she sees these two kids sitting on the street being kids under the light at night. And that's Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen,
Oh,
not credited, as they're playing under the lamppost. Sissy Spacek later said that working with Terrence Malick completely changed her whole attitude to filmmaking, putting the actors first, the actors, kind of not in charge, but kind of. And she believes that she would have had a much different career if and Malick hadn't crossed paths. And she was like a teenager when she made this movie in real life.
yeah.
So, um, the film's tagline, this is a good one. In 1959, okay, in a world. In 1959, a lot of people were killing time. Kit and Holly were killing people.
Nice. Good tagline.
Inspired the Zodiac Killer, who had been Zodiac Killer was in San Francisco. Google this man.
Wait,
They
wait, wait.
never caught
What?
him.
This movie
Yes,
inspired
this
the Zodiac Killer?
that tagline inspired the Zodiac Killer,
Jesus.
who had been lying low for years, to write a letter to a newspaper denouncing their flippant attitude to violence in society by running such an ad.
Wild.
Even the Zodiac Killer was like, the
Come on,
violence,
guys.
guys. Come on.
But this is what sort of world are we living in?
Right?
That's alarming.
I
You,
know.
yeah, that's nuts.
Oh, silly Zodiac Killer.
Um,
They never caught him, so love you, buddy. Love you. Just we're big fans here. Martin Sheen still believes this is his finest film.
yeah, I can see that.
So they released it as they used to do like for those who don't remember these things, they used to do double features, so you'd pay for like one ticket, but you'd see two movies.
Yeah.
They paired this movie what movie do you think they would pair it with, Andy? Like
Jeez.
a drama?
That would be my guess. Another sort of drama, some like
Okay,
maybe another sort of like,
yeah,
cops and robbers sorts of thing,
totally inaccurate. They paired it with Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles,
Oh
and,
wow.
and the audiences were very, very pissed off. Um, okay, so
That's not
Charles,
that's not a bad
what?
double feature though. Like I
I know it,
understand that
yeah,
tonally it's
yeah.
wild, but like those are two good movies.
They are two good movies. I think at the time, like it's definitely two different crowds. It's like
Yeah,
watching
it's
Barbie
true.
and Oppenheimer in the same day, but somehow society managed to do that. Um, so Charles Starkweather had been executed by the time the film started production, but Mrs. Fugit was still alive and facing parole. The filmmakers changed the principal characters' names to avoid a lawsuit because she would have sued them, which is why I think he's sworn to secrecy because of Carol Fugit.
Gotcha.
Anyways, that's what I have.
Love it. Few things that I just written down. For a start, I really loved seeing the old Warner Communications logo at the start. That was very nice to see. I haven't
Yeah,
seen that for years. And it's like,
yeah.
a fandom of a fucking multimedia corporation, but still,
I mean that they were the Warner Brothers.
yeah, they were. But I have fondness for that logo in particular. I mean, like, I have fondness for a lot of those logos that I would have seen in my youth. Um,
Yes.
the other few things I've written down, I actually wrote down this guy's really trigger happy just before she said he's very trigger happy. Um, I would also say that I was like not crazy about the animal treatment in this film generally,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
it kind of like adds up with the behavior of this guy in particular. But like it's also like her father as well, but it's just kind of upsetting. Um, and the last thing I wrote was Martin Sheen's arse looks amazing. He's
Yeah, the
he
white
looks
t-shirt.
it's all of it. It's just he just looks incredible, like
Yeah.
sensational.
No,
Um,
agreed.
yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
I think uh I don't remember. I haven't watched the show Mindhunter in a while, but I think that it's like the profile of a serial killer, right? It's like they mistreat animals as children. You know,
Mm,
there are certain things, especially mistreat head wounds as a child, like getting a concussion. You're like, uh-oh. Well, then they ended up like Ed Kemper. Um,
interesting.
uh, but just the way his treatment of animals, his disassociation, like the just standing on a dead cow.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a napping cow. These were the days when you know, they didn't hurt animals in the movies ever. Yeah, they did. But I was like, this, if he doesn't care about a dog that's dead, and he's trying to sell it to his buddy for $1 to eat it. Anyways,
yeah, that's
something's
true.
wrong there. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
I
what direction is this movie gonna go?
I have questions about that anyway, because it's like what he wants him to even like $1 at the time, well, it's probably about $50 now, but like
Mhm.
$50 to eat an entire dead dog? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. Well, and his buddy was like, I don't know. Doesn't even look, I don't even think it's a collie. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, just, this screenplay is amazing. Um,
true.
so at one point they mentioned druthers. Do you know
Yeah.
what druthers means? Is that like a thing that you guys,
I am
it's a
aware of the
Southern
term,
term.
but
So,
it's
okay.
not really used super well over here. What does it actually mean?
So druthers means like your your preference or
If
your,
I had my way sort of
if you
thing.
had your way,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
uh, there's a scene, speaking of animals, where there were things in this movie that didn't need to be in this movie at all, and yet it makes the movie, it just grabs you. And she's talking about how, you know, she's going through these hard times, and like the one thing she felt worst about was that she like threw her catfish, she has this giant
Yeah.
catfish pet, and she's
Yeah.
like, it got sick, and she just like throws it out
Yeah.
and you can just see this, it was just like shocking to see. I
It
don't know.
was.
um it's like why put that in? But it's perfect. I don't know. Yeah, I love watching fire burn things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
there was something magnetic about it. Yeah.
yes. So there's a painting in her house that she also moves to the tree house, and I was like, I know that painting. I sleep under that painting sometimes. So it's a painting called Daybreak by Maxfield Parrish. So when I go to Mike's parents' house and sleep in their basement, that's the painting I sleep under. And
Amazing.
I was like, holy moly, it's in this movie. Um, so yeah, those were my thoughts.
No, I love it.
Yeah, other than like I would go through people's trash. Haha.
Why not? So we get into our final few wee sections here.
Yes,
So too legit to fit. Who are the best outfits in the movie? I think it has to be Martin Sheen.
absolutely.
I think
He
Pitt
didn't
has
change
to.
his clothes, but like
No.
he changed hats.
Yeah, he
But
did. Like basically double denim, white t-shirt, cowboy boots, an iconic look. He wears the shit out of it and just looks spectacular throughout.
yeah,
Like, because like you know, even though I don't think, because like say people keep saying he looks like James Dean as we talked about earlier, but like, and he doesn't really, but like he is still a beautiful man, you know. So you
yeah,
can kind of see why that it still works. The comparison still makes sense, you know.
yeah.
Um. So, you know, this is a tough one this week, but for the Andy's Animal Acting Award for Excellence in Animal Acting, just because like most of the animals meet tragic ends,
I
but I think
know.
her dog was a real sweetheart. And like you see the dog in the very first frames of the film, this giant big like hound that she has, and he's a cool guy, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Agree.
um, he
I
as I
thought
say
the
he meets a
chickens
tragic
did
end.
an excellent job too.
They did,
Like at one point, he's like going to his friend's house, who's eventually going to kill, and he's like, "I brought you a chicken." And like, if you grab a chicken's feet and hang it upside down, they stop moving. They just kind of
yeah.
go limp. And so he's just, I was like, "Did you kill it?" And the
And then
chicken was alive,
its
and I was
head
like,
starts moving
"Oh
about a
yay,
bit, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
yay,
I
okay,
know.
okay." Oh, he's
But
he's
lots
not
of
all bad.
it's yeah. But I mean, like it was just him to get his foot in the door for
Yep,
nefarious reasons.
yep, yep,
Um.
yep.
So yeah. So Beth, in terms of Badlands, your thoughts on it, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I would revisit in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm that right there with you. Like I thoroughly enjoyed this. Like it was, you know, also perfect movie length for me. Thoroughly enjoyable, look beautiful, great cast. Like, you know, it is mainly a two-hander. It's mostly just two people, but they're fucking brilliant in it, both of them, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, very
yeah.
good, really, really good.
Highly
Uh
recommend. I
yeah,
just wrote revisit forever and always.
yeah.
Just as good this time.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's definitely like, you know, and as my first sort of, you know, step into the world of Terrence Malick, I am,
Yeah.
you know, I enjoy it a lot more than I kind of thought I would. I wonder like whether my biases will be confirmed as we go further through this, but like for right now, I am ready to be proved very wrong. I'm happy
Yeah,
about it,
I
you know?
I would say like because the next movie we watch is probably his most like straight movie, as in like normalish movie, but it's still not saying that that's good or bad. It's like I can't wait. I'm not gonna. I'll let you tell people what we're watching, but I'm really glad you liked it. It's like there are certain movies where I'm like, it's kind of like probably with Miller's Crossing, you were like, I hope she likes it. Like this movie means
Yeah.
so much to me. So the fact that you did makes me happy.
No, I really do.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise
So
I'd be like, I know this is our first episode, but it's also our last. No,
yeah.
we can never be friends.
No, it was great. It really was.
Good. Yay.
So, yeah, so our movie for next week, in case any of you are watching at home and want to follow along with us, is Days of Heaven. Um, and yeah,
With
Beth,
Richard Gere.
with Richard Gere, indeed.
Yeah.
So Beth, before we say goodbye to everybody, what has been bringing you joy this week?
I'm gonna be lame. This isn't lame, but honestly, like watching this movie brought me so much joy. I watched it yesterday, and normally I try and watch, like whatever. It was the time I had. But I was just like sitting in the living room and Mike's working and he comes out and I'm just like, this movie is so fucking good. It just, yeah. Um, Also, our top fan, like we just posted Miller's Crossing, and our top fan was like th seeing this movie come up. He's like, I haven't watched your episode yet or listened to your episode yet, but like seeing this title come up brought me joy.
Yeah,
So bringing joy to other people, that makes me happy.
love it.
Um, I'm also like picking back up my favorite murder podcast.
Hmm.
Um, they're so fucking funny, these two women, Karen and Georgia, talking about true crime, yet making it funny. And I just love these ladies. And so if you want to ever laugh and learn some things about, the I-5 killer, listen to this podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Um, okay. In
What
that
about
case,
you?
oh
No,
yeah, that's
no.
true. Oh, I'm
You got
nearly
he's trying to skip over his joy, people.
nearly got away with it.
Yeah.
So
Meddling Beth.
I have, yeah, if it wasn't for you meddling kids,
Mhm.
I have been reading Mel Brooks' autobiography,
Okay, I started it. What do you think?
All About Me. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think it wasn't as like, because like, the front cover is like riotous, laugh out loud funny, and I'm like, it's not really. Like it's
You're like, he was in war?
yes, he was. And like it's definitely written in his tone, but it's not like a laugh riot, I don't think. It's like, but it's interesting, and I think that like I think, he's maybe not the best writer in the whole wide world, but like he writes in his voice in a way that I really like. That's
You can
nice, you
hear
know.
him
You
reading to
can,
you,
you can.
yeah.
And I think that's pretty wonderful. And I find like his story really interesting. Like, there was only so much I kind of knew about him. And like, it's really kind of interesting, hearing about his time with Sid Caesar, like his time
Yes.
doing Get Smart and things like that, which is
Yes.
something I didn't know. Like I knew of Get Smart, but I didn't know that it was essentially his baby. So like I thought that was all very interesting. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Awesome. Yeah, I that's about where I stopped. I think I got like 50 or so pages into it. But it was kind of like it's a big, big, big book. And uh yeah, I got a pile I'm trying to get through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I
It's a nice
know.
problem to
I
have, I
know.
suppose, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Okay. So Beth, could you tell everybody where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us at movietestoftime.com and all of your well, any station, we're
Hmm.
everywhere where you get your podcasts. If you have suggestions about any movies that you would like us to watch and review, we have a list going. So just you can email them to movietestofTime.com or find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the places the teens hang out, the superette, and let us know what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah,
us
yeah.
to
The
to
mall, the
to watch.
mall.
The mall.
Yeah. Uh, okay.
Oxford.
Oxford,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
Nice,
find
nice, nice,
us,
nice.
like us, subscribe.
Please do across the
Please do.
board.
Tell your friends.
All right. In that case, we've reached the end of this week's episode, and we're changing it up a wee bit because we're changing our format. So we're just going to tell you that we
We
love
love you
you
guys.
and goodbye forever. Not really. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Okay, love you guys. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.